fans trying to galvanise the team right now. Pelech, good touch from him. Hayden inside to Pelech. Mike Pelech, short-handed goal.
Welcome to another edition of Clan Chat, and Mike Pelech, he's in Glasgow. He hasn't left. He likes it so much. I think you moved apartment. You moved from one house to an apartment by the river. But other than that, you've been in Scotland, and thanks for taking the time, Pelech.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be here. How's your summer going, Murph?
Yeah, it's good. It's all systems go, as you can imagine, and a lot has changed. A lot has stayed the same in that you're back and RK is back, and we just did a chat with Reese Kelly, and I think he's really happy that you're in Scotland. I think he's probably been texting you and bothering you pretty well daily, is it?
Yeah, we've been meeting up at the gym together, doing some saunas and skating a little bit here and there. It's been good. Yeah, it's been good having a friend around for sure.
He's a good young player, isn't he? But more importantly, he's a good young person. His family is just down the road there. And I think he's so proud to be playing at this level and playing in Scotland so that his family can come and see him. So it's nice that you guys can kind of share stories. Do you have any new favorite places now that you've during the season, you probably find a few restaurants you like, but you're on the road, you're playing. Now you've had a little bit of a step back. Do you have any new favorite places you can recommend to the new guys coming into the clan?
Yeah, for sure. I got the dog, so I'm always walking around. We're looking for little grocery stores for ingredients. We love cooking. So we've been going to Kelvin Grove Park a lot near the West End, and there's a bunch of little grocery stores and coffee shops and everything down that area, and it's really nice. So yeah, we enjoy walking down there, usually every day, depending on the weather, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you probably missed the sun a little bit because if you were back in Toronto, you knew you'd have those sort of 30-degree sunny days, but it's a mixed bag of tricks, whether it's Ireland where I am or Glasgow where you are.
Yeah, it's funny. I look out the window and it looks really nice out, and then I get the dog ready. Better take the dog out and then get down, and it's already started raining. So it's definitely a little bit different.
Yeah, very much like my day. It's if you don't like the weather, just wait longer. But speaking of family, Reese said that one of your brothers was over. Adam was over, and you got to go out and have dinner. So nice for you to see some family as well.
Yeah, definitely. I hadn't seen him in a while, and he does a golf trip in the UK, usually every year. So he came a day early, and me and RK took him out to dinner.
That's fantastic. I mean, we were just talking off camera about you're going to have to get some good stories from your brother Adam because Patrick Waugh behind the bench is apparently an adventure in its own right on Long Island there. So you'll have to update us as the season goes on as to how your brother is getting along with Patrick Waugh.
Yeah, I'll try and get something out of him. I don't think he'll say anything bad or negative about anyone, so it might be a little bit difficult.
So the summer's been okay despite the weather, and I believe you have some more family coming over to visit too, don't you?
Yeah, I got some visitors at the end of the month in early August. Chelsea's parents, my wife's parents, and my parents are going to come down. So yeah, looking forward to it. Again, haven't seen them in a while either, so excited for it.
And how's the body? I mean, it's great that you've had a little bit of time to reflect now. And as one of the veterans, certainly one of the guys that wore a letter on his jersey last year, you had the sore wing, the sore paw. 100% healthy now, ready to go.
Yeah, everything's good, ready to go, and yeah, excited. Again, we were talking. It's a little harder to find ice in Scotland than it would be in Toronto, so haven't been able to get on the ice as much. But yeah, spending a little bit of time in the gym, working on everything I need to, and getting ready for the season.
And I guess you wish there was more ice because then you'd have to spend less time in the sauna with RK. But that's a story for another day. He told us that on Clan Chat, and I said, "Poor Pelly. This is a guy. This is a guy that's a veteran player, and he's sitting in the sauna with this young Scottish player, and I'm sure he's picking your brain. I'd say your head was spinning. But yeah, again, so nice." Because he said, like all the guys that had played a lot of pro hockey were so good to RK and some of the young guys last year. So important to keep that going, isn't it?
Yeah, we got along really well during the season, and so it's great to have him here. And yeah, he's a good young player, so excited to see him develop.
when you never want to see someone lose their job, but we all know there was a coaching change. We all know there's been some personnel changes. Corey Nielsen calls you up once that hire takes place, and was that a good conversation? Was that a conversation that you were like, okay, that I feel good about, because this is a guy that we've talked on Clan Chat with other your teammates. This is a guy that's won everything in the league and beyond, and so he's got his vision for the season. Are you excited?
Yeah, definitely, especially after, seeing some of the recent signings and the signings throughout the summer. Definitely excited. Some, a lot of guys with really good resumes. So, hopefully we can come together as a team and have a great season.
Is there anyone in particular, or probably all of them, I guess, but was there one signing where you went, "Oh, I'm really looking forward to having that guy as a teammate"?
Yeah, all of them. I played against Ali and Mitchell Hurd earlier in my career in the ECHL, and both players were really hard to play against. So yeah, it's definitely good having them on my side this coming
You
year.
talk about certainly, less ice. So have you had to adapt your training schedule? Because we've asked Reese, we've asked Yuli, we've asked all the new signings, what the summer looks like from a training perspective. So from Mike Pelech's perspective, what does the off season training look like?
I usually steal my little brother's program, and do all the weightlifting part of that, and then whatever I need to work on personally, what I think, whether it's hip and groin or balance or flexibility, I kind of just add that, do my own research, and add that to my routine.
Sanch deflects it in. Pelech gives chase. Villio got it away quickly. Valentino turns it over to Sanch. Sanch to Pelech. Pelech with a shot, scores! Early goal, Mike Pelech!
I don't want to be doom and gloom. Certainly last season had its ups and downs. There were great moments like when we knocked Cardiff out of the Challenge Cup, and down moments when we didn't make the playoffs. Certainly for you personally, the arm injury was certainly a downer. Like when you look back at it, you've played with playoffs and league in the coast, you played over 900 games there. So you've seen a lot, you've done a lot. Um, Last season, was it a tale of so many things going on that it's hard to comprehend, or is it something where you just wipe the slate clean?
Yeah, I think looking back, you just have to learn a little bit. You're going to have seasons like that as a player throughout your career. So it's just important that you learn from, what went well and what went wrong, and move forward from there.
Yeah, it's always about you can look in the rear view mirror all you want, but in hockey, with any pro sport or any sport in general, you have to look forward and take those lessons. You had a great season personally until the injury, certainly the face-offs and some of the timely goals. Um, were you surprised, or were you kind of well aware of how good the elite league was? Because it keeps getting better year on year, but I think some imports come in and they go, wow, this is a little bit quicker, a little bit better than I thought. Where would you rate the league when you came in last year?
Yeah, no, it's definitely really good. I have played previously against a lot of players from other teams, so looking at lineups and rosters, I had an idea that it was going to be really competitive from the beginning. So yeah, playing as long as I have, it's pretty good knowledge on most of the players and how they are. So yeah, it was what I expected, and yeah, it's a really good league, and it seems to only be getting better.
Oh, certainly some of the signings this offseason, including some of your new teammates. It's just wild. I've been a part of the league in some shape or form for 15 years. And I remember when I first came over from Canada thinking this is a pretty good league, but now you're looking at it going, it's comparable to the coast, it's comparable to many leagues in Europe. And certainly we're going to get a taste of that with the Warrior Pro tournament. Is that something that's piqued your interest to go over to Germany in the preseason and kind of get the preparations going?
Yeah, it's exciting. I travel the world a little bit, and the competition is going to be really, really good. So yeah, it's exciting. Hopefully, we can get together as a team during that time. Being on the road, just strictly the team, and bond a little, and have some fun while we're doing it, and hopefully, be really competitive and against these good teams.
That sort of travel and the bonding is important. And one of your teammates, Robert Lakovich and Lucas Bryan, who's now a new teammate of yours, did you watch the World Championships and watch those guys play against the likes of Canada and Finland?
Yeah, I tried to watch as many games as possible, and yeah, it was cool seeing them out there. And yeah, I think they did really well, and definitely that Canada game was exciting right to the end.
Yeah, I mean it's wild. Again, I've been around the GB program for the better part of a decade, and there was a time when I was doing games for them at Division 1B, and you're thinking, imagine if these guys played Canada or Finland, and then fast forward to Kosice in 2019, I think it was, and there you are, Robert Lakovich is lining up for a face-off against Team Canada, and it's just really cool to see that progression, and your new head coach Corey Nielsen is a big part of that setup, so that's a nice tie-in there as well. Have you talked to Laco a little bit about Corey and what to expect from the coaching staff this season?
No, not really. Laco's been pretty busy with the World Championships, and he's not in Glasgow right now, so I haven't been able to talk to him much. But I'm sure once he comes back into town, we'll have some good chats.
Yeah, Laco has been traveling the world, I think, for weddings and all sorts of things in between, as well as getting ready for the season. The league last year, the Sheffield Steelers, the treble, the year before the Belfast Giants, the treble. I mean, is it a goal as a player? Because you don't want to, no one's got, even the Steelers last year weren't coming out and saying we're going to win the treble. But as a player and as a veteran guy with each year, sort of trophies are the goal, aren't they? So you look at it and you go, geez, Sheffield were so good this year. We've got to really try and put a spanner in the works and make sure there's no treble for the likes of the Steelers again.
Yeah, no, definitely. They had a great season last year, so um, definitely have a target on their back, probably just like Belfast did last year. Whenever we play them or any team plays them, really it'll be a big game, and you really want to beat them just because they won everything last year, all three trophies. So yeah, each game against them, I think will be really important.
We were one of the few teams to go in their barn last year and get a league win against the Sheffield Steelers. So anyone's beatable on any given night, of course. Was there a highlight to the season? Because again, we know the season as a whole wasn't good enough. Well, was there a moment where you're like, wow, this is a lot of fun playing in this league, and this is a lot of fun playing with some of these guys like Laco or whatever? Was there a moment that you think back on fondly?
Yeah, definitely. I think you brought it up earlier when we beat Cardiff in the Challenge Cup. We were down one goal heading into Cardiff. So yeah, that was a good game. I think guys really came together that game, and we managed to beat them and move on. So that was really exciting, and I think a big deal.
You mentioned that they're down by a goal. Did you have to go home at night and go, this whole aggregate thing, very much a football thing? I've got to get my head around. Was that something that had you scratching your head when it was first explained to you?
Yeah, I think I asked about 20 questions about like what was going on before the game. So yeah, no, it's a fun little way to do things, and yeah, I think it makes it exciting, especially if it's the first game's tight going into the second game. Anything could happen, really.
Lynch with his second assist in league play. And here they come again. Craighead flips it on for Pelech. Pelech has been the best player for Glasgow this evening. And again, he gets a tip in front. It's right there. He scores! Pelech with his second.
Talk about that LA Kings moment way back in 2009, not to make you feel like one of the older
Yeah.
players, but every kid grows up in Canada wanting to be drafted, and certainly both your brothers as well. So was that a special moment to know that the LA Kings thought so highly of you?
Yeah, it was definitely cool. I think I didn't get drafted with my age group. I got drafted a little bit later. So yeah, it was a special moment, and especially going down to the development camps and all the camps throughout the summer was definitely good for development, and just really fun being out there with looking back like NHL that are NHL stars now. So yeah, it was definitely a cool experience, and very exciting at the time.
You're Toronto guy, and are you a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, or were you watching the Edmonton Oilers and Connor McDavid? I've asked some of the other new imports when the Cup was going on, like you cheering for the Oilers, even though one of the guys was in Calgary and going, usually you wouldn't cheer for the Oilers if you're from Calgary, but here I am cheering for the Oilers. Were you watching a little bit of the Stanley Cup final and hoping that finally Canada could win another cup since 1993?
Yeah, no, I was definitely cheering for Edmonton. The games were on a little bit too late for me, so I can't stay up that late. But yeah, no, I was cheering for Edmonton. I am not a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. I don't like them very much. I like the Islanders for obvious reasons. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Growing up, and you're probably watching the Leafs, and you think again, and talk about how hard it is to win trophies. And I'm not just talking about the elite league, but the Leafs haven't won a Stanley Cup in a long time. So sometimes it's not just about money. Sometimes it's about coming together under the right system and whatnot. So it's probably good that you're an Islanders fan, because it's tough being a Toronto Maple Leafs fan the last 5, 6, 7 years of the playoffs. And you think back to some of the first round heartaches they've had.
yeah, no, definitely. All my buddies back home are big Leafs fans, and yeah, they're devastated. Yeah, so it's pretty funny that I get to laugh at them because I'm not a Leaf fan, but yeah, it's all in good fun.
Are those same buddies that are heartbroken with the Leafs? Are they now Purple fans? Are they now Glasgow Clan Mike Pelech fans over here?
Yeah, yeah, I think if they had to pick a team over here, I would hope that they would be Glasgow Clan fans for sure.
The webcast, I mean, it's great that you're over here now as opposed to say 20 years ago, because there wouldn't have been webcasts. It would have been hard for people to follow your career overseas. Do you have people reach out to you after watching a webcast or watching an away webcast and kind of say, wow, it's really cool to see you playing over there?
No, no, not really. I don't have much social media or anything, so only friends and families really can get a hold of me most of the time. So
And do your mom and dad watch a little bit, or do you have aunts and uncles kind of tuning in to see how you're doing?
yeah, my parents usually watch every game. They got the doubleheader going with usually my game and then my little brother's game. So my older brother's retired now. They would have the triple header, but
You and I spoke last year. I loved watching your brother play in Belfast. He was an absolute freight train, unleashed at times. And there was a great moment in the Champions Hockey League where one of the opposition was running around saying, I played 130 games in the NHL. You guys are nothing. And your brother absolutely ran him over and stood over him and said 13 games. Your brother was a beauty, wasn't he? Especially at the
yeah,
tail end of
no,
his career. I think he was just throwing the weight around.
yeah, he was hard to watch his games sometimes because of how aggressive of a player he was. You're kind of scared for everyone on the ice, including him when he's out there. So yeah, but probably very entertaining for the fans.
Oh, very entertaining as a broadcaster. And he was the captain of the Giants that year. So you just didn't know if he was going to hurt somebody with a big hit or if he was going to go end to end and knock people over. He was entertaining for sure. I think I asked you last year when you signed, but I'll ask it again because that must have been a fun house to grow up in. Did you like take lumps out of each other, or was it like competition all the time between the Pelech brothers?
Yeah, me and my older brother are 2 years apart in age. So growing up, we were the best of friends. But I think once we both turned teenagers and started playing junior hockey, we got really close, and yeah, now we're best buds. My little brother is 5 years younger than me, so there's a bigger age gap. But yeah, once he grew up again and started, I think when he's probably started playing juniors too, we all kind of came together, and now we're talk every day. Yeah, we're really good friends now, so it's great.
Actually, go back to the dinner there with your brother and Reese Kelly. Was Reese kind of trying to pick his brain about the NHL and stuff, or was Reese quiet? Because we know he's a quiet guy.
Yeah, I think they were talking more about golf because Adam was going on playing some nice um, golf courses around the UK. So I think they were chatting. I'm not a golfer, so I kind of don't know what to say when it comes to that. But yeah, that's what I think they were talking about.
Really neat that they get to play St. Andrews. Like, you're not a golfer. I haven't golfed a lot since my kids came along, but have you got out to any of the historic courses just to even take it in a little bit?
No, I haven't done that. I probably should, and once the guys get here, if we got some golfers on the team, maybe I'll tag along with them one of the days.
You mentioned your wife there getting down to London for work and a couple of trips down there. It's so important, and it was so important to the owner Mickey last year that it was like a family affair. Your partner. We didn't have any kids last year, but if you had kids, everyone on deck on game night. And has Chelsea enjoyed the experience of living overseas and now living and working in Glasgow?
Yeah, she absolutely loves it. She's really enjoying it. She loves coming to the games. She likes the all the theatrics they put on before the game that you don't get in North America. So they got she's telling her family about that, and they're all excited to see it. So yeah, no, she's really enjoying it and loves it here.
That's great. Do you have a message for the Purple Army? We've asked some of the new signings to kind of say, let the Purple Army know what to expect from you this season. I think everyone who came to a game knows what to expect from you last year, which is the utmost in professionalism, compete level, face-offs, big goals, physicality. Just a true pro is Mike Pelech. But do you have a message to the Purple Army for this upcoming season?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and work my hardest out there. Not let anyone outwork me when I'm on the ice, and as they know, just try and get to the net and get my teammates the puck, and then go to the net. It's pretty simple game.
Go to the net and good things happen. Barrel to the net and great things happen. Listen, Pelly, I know you've got stuff to do there. You've got some training. You've got a sauna booked with Reese Kelly and a steak dinner later. But I appreciate you taking the time to join us on Clan Chat. I'm really looking forward to catching up with you in person. I always enjoyed our NHL chats and other chats last year. So I look forward to seeing you on the ice in Germany and beyond. So thanks for taking the time, big fella.
Yeah, thanks, Mara. Have a great day. Rest of the day.